Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's review we're going to be taking a look at the newly released DNA Design DK15 Jetwing upgrade kit. Now if you are in the market for adding this kit to your collection, it is available and in stock right now over at Shozy Store, and for that of course I will leave a link down in the description box below. Taking a look here at the packaging for the kit, you can see that it's very simplistic in its design. We have an awesome image of the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime there with the Jetwing wings. We've got DK15 Jetwing upgrade kit, and then as we turn around here to the back of the packaging, we've got some super awesome product shots of both the actual contents of the upgrade kit as well as some of the deluxe edition accessories that we will cover in this review. And of course we do have a fantastic image here of the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime equipped with both DNA Design's upgrade kit wings as well as their awesome looking blasters. So without further ado, let's open this up and see what awaits us inside. And so here we have the entire content that comes within the DK15 packaging, and you can see here that we get a complete array of individual accessories in order to equip and armor up our Optimus Prime. Starting off here with the largest of which, here we have the awesome looking Jetwing pack. I believe the detailing as well as the paint applications on this particular piece to be vastly superior than compared to that of the original Studio Series Jetwing set. You can see that we've got some phenomenal red, silver and blue highlights, all of which are very metallic, so therefore give off an incredibly realistic and authentic vibe to the movie. We've also got some fantastic silver highlights there as well to pick out some of the sharper details of the sculpt, and in all I just think that this is a lot more accurate to the actual wing design that we did get in the movie. We've also got so many more thrusters on this as well, which I think is absolutely incredible. We'll set this off to the side and delve more into that later on in the review. We also do get two shields here, and I think that the detailing on these are awesome. Personally for me, I will be using one of these on my Voyager class Sentinel Prime, of which I'll bring out later on in the review, but you can see here the detailing as well as the paint applications on this are amazing, and to be entirely truthful, this completely obliterates the puny shield that we got with the original Studio Series. I think that this looks fantastic. Hooray! We actually have a handle for a shield, something which Hasbro completely forgot about on their initial release. We also do have a much more accurate looking axe, and you can see that the detailing as well as the sculpt work on this in my opinion looks terrific. To me this almost looks as if though it is the bat symbol. I'm not entirely sure whether or not that was intentional, but I do believe that the metallic yellow almost gold that they have used on this piece looks terrific, and you can see here that it's just so much more detailed than compared to what we got with the original release. If you do order the deluxe version, you will indeed get two different axes as well as two additional swords. So you can see here that this one has a slightly darker colour scheme. In my opinion, this is slightly more accurate to the colour that we saw in the movie, at least when Optimus Prime completely decapitates Megatron, but I think that the detailing on this piece looks fantastic. And here we get some awesome looking firepower for Prime. These are so much more epic looking than compared to the blasters that once again we got with the original release, and they are completely filled out, so no hollow gaps underneath this whatsoever, and in my opinion this makes this look 10 times better. You can see that the paintwork on this has also come out really nicely, and I think that the sculpt work on this too is awesome. We also do get this additional trailer component. I will of course show you how you can actually implement this into the trailer later on in the review, but here we actually do have proper spinning wheels. I know on the original release that only one of the wheels did spin and the other one was faux, but here you can see that it is how it originally should be with both of them spinning, and they've even gone the extra mile to actually sculpt in 4 wheels under the underside in order to create for once again a more movie accurate appearance. And now turning here to the final accessories, we of course get the knuckle dusters that Optimus deploys in order to completely obliterate Shockwave's torso. You can see here that the detailing as well as the paint applications I believe have come out really nicely, and it's fantastic to actually get these with our Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, as it just allows to create for some more dynamic poses when on the shelf, and of course Shockwave can finally meet his demise. But the detailing on these is fantastic. So with the entire contents now completely covered, let's get into some of the installation. And so now turning here to the actual installation of the Jetwing pack itself, you can see here that I have both the original version of the Studio Series Optimus Prime as well as the Dark of the Moon release, and the reasoning behind why I have both of these figures out is because DNA Designs have actually engineered this kit to be compatible with the first release of Optimus Prime from the Studio Series, which in my opinion is absolutely fantastic, as it does not alienate collectors who have originally collected this figure and perhaps missed out on this figure. However, one thing to note is that it is merely only the Jetwing that you are going to be able to apply to this figure, and some of the accessories. All of the trailer components are going to be made redundant, as of course this particular version of Optimus Prime unfortunately never actually came with the trailer. But in order to quickly show you the installation with this first release, you can see that we have 2 slots here and here on the back of Prime, and on the actual jetpack itself we do have this entire attachment which is specifically designed to actually tab onto this Prime. So you can see we've got 2 tabs here and here. So what you're going to want to do is of course just align these up here and here and snap those nice and securely. You can see here that on these gas canisters we do have this hollow gap that's actually going to tab into this huge tab there. So just once again align this up and shoot that in there and just compress that, and you can see that sits there really nice and flush. And of course turn around here to the back and repeat the same process. So just align that up, snap that into place, setting this Prime here off to the side, and there is our original version of Optimus Prime fully decked out with the Jetwing upgrade kit. And I think that this looks absolutely terrific. If you are a fan of this particular version of Optimus Prime, then you're going to love that this kit is versatile enough to actually be implemented onto him. And of course to detach it is exactly the same method as reinstalling it, just opposite. So just remove the gas cans on each side, take this entire section and just remove it. Setting this Prime off here to the side and bringing in the original Dark of the Moon version, this is where things get slightly more interesting. So in order to equip the DOTM Optimus Prime, you are of course going to want to bring in the original Jetwing set. Now something worth noting is that I did actually spray this completely silver, hence why it is a completely different colour to that of the actual DNA design kit as well as the standard release. However, rest assured that the DNA design kit will indeed actually colour match with just the base standard version of the original Jetwing Prime. So to begin with, what we're going to do here is just set this figure off to the side. You're going to want to come to these sections, and I recommend just detaching this whole back piece here just to allow for some extra clearance, and then just simply popping off the wings there, and then take this side here and just pop those off as well. We can then compress all that and snap that into place. This is of course where we can bring in this section. You're going to want to completely remove this piece here as we no longer need this entire region, as we're no longer dealing with the original version. We can then pop this section off, and really with this piece you can now begin to completely disregard it until later on in the review. We're then going to want to bring back this section, and you can see that we've got two slots here and here that these tabs are going to peg into. So just align those up, snap them nice and securely into place, and then bring in our wings, extend them out on these joints, and of course repeat the same process. And then just take this here, and it's just of course a matter of lining this up appropriately. Slide that in, and that will snap in there nice and securely. And of course come here to this section and repeat the exact same process. So hook one side in, clip that into place, compress that, bring this section here back up, snap that nice and securely into place. We can then take the wings here, and you're going to want to hinge them in on these hinge joints so that we have an orientation that looks like this. And on the actual wing piece, you'll see that we have a clip here that's actually going to hook into this hollow space. So I recommend just overlapping that, and it installs into Optimus Prime in the exact same way as how the original kit did. So just compress that down, and then just slide this here over the top, and repeat the same process on both sides. And you can see that we've got tabs that we're just going to peg in and repeat the same process. And that is how you install the Jetwing kit on our Optimus Prime. And I think that this looks absolutely incredible. Once again, I think that the paint applications as well as the new design to the actual wings themselves are so much more accurate and better matches the appearance from the actual movie. However, of course, Optimus needs some firepower, so let's bring in some of the blasters. To show this off, you're going to want to take this section here, and it is actually on a hinge joint, so you're going to want to hinge this section out, and you can see that we do have this post that will just slide all the way into Prime's hand. And unlike the Studio Series version, it does completely slide in there, so it really does look as if though the gun has completely covered Prime's arm, which is of course the look that we saw in the movie. Slide this section up, and you can see that we do have a slot there that this tab here will fill. So just align that up and ensure that that's snapped into place. Just align those up appropriately, and of course bring out the opposite side. Something worth noting is that I have noticed Prime here to be slightly more back heavy than he was when we had the standard release. However, of course, with this being more accurate and having all of its components completely filled out as opposed to hollow gaps, it has added a little bit of extra weight to Prime's back. However, if you just get him in a crouched pose, similarly to how we saw him in the movie, I don't think that you'll have much of an issue there. Repeat the same process, so just take this here, hinge this down, and then slide this over the top. Align that up appropriately, and there we have Optimus Prime fully decked out with the Jetwing kit as well as the blasters. And in my opinion, this just looks so much better than what we got on the standard release. Bringing one of the original cannons in for a comparison, once again, I have sprayed these, so this isn't actually the base color that you will see if you do have the original version of this Prime, but you can see here that these were completely hollow. They simply just pegged into Prime's hand and looked nothing like they did in the movie. However, here I think that DNA Design have done a fantastic job in really making it look as if though these have just formed out of Prime's arms. I definitely believe this to be much more accurate than what we got with this release. So in my opinion, this here is definitely going to be my definitive display. As we turn around here to the back of the Jetwing, you can actually unhinge this here to your own desire, so we can compress those there for a more coherent look, but just taking a look at the detailing, I think that looks fantastic. The wings here can hinge up and down, so that's awesome, something which we didn't get on the standard Hasbro release. And we also do have a hinge joint here, so you can hinge the wings around to your own desire, which I think is super cool. And of course, you can actually untap these if you wished as well, and just have these here slightly more extended and brought round to the sides, which I think is quite a cool look as well, so that's definitely awesome. And once again, no hollow gaps here, nor on the wings. Everything has been filled out with some really nice paint applications. So with the entire Jetwing installation now fully showcased, I'll begin to show you how Prime looks with some of the additional accessories. And then of course, I'll show you how you can attach this entire assembly to, of course, Optimus's trailer. So now very quickly going over how Optimus looks whilst utilising some of the additional accessories. A minor nitpick that I really do have to raise is that I wish DNA Designs would have perhaps included a accurate looking DOTM movie shotgun. Optimus Prime had a really awesome looking blaster within that movie, and unfortunately the studio series never gave us it in any form, so I really do think that this would have been the perfect opportunity. But nonetheless, at least we get some better accessories than we did get on the standard release. So to show you here, we do of course get this awesome looking shield, of which we do actually get two of. You can see that we have a handle here which can easily be compressed in order to actually store this within the trailer, and just showing you how that looks whilst pegged into Prime's hand. I think it looks fantastic, very proportionate, and is leaps and bounds better than the original version, of which I will very quickly bring out a comparison. It really is night and day, and I'm completely baffled as to what Hasbro were thinking when they released this here as a shield. It looks absolutely pathetic, and as if though it should be matched with one of the Micromasters, not a fully scaled Voyager. We can also bring out the axe here, which I think looks awesome in Prime's hand, of course, ready to take on Megatron and take his head clean off, and just removing this here and bringing in the knuckle dusters. These here are on a clip, so you just peg one side in and then overlap the top, and you can see how that looks there. I think that looks really awesome, and once again was something that we didn't get with the official Hasbro version. So definitely really super awesome accessories. Just quickly showing you how he looks with one of the swords. If I can just remove the knuckle duster. These are the exact same sculpt as what we got on the original studio series, so they haven't altered these whatsoever. They have merely just painted them in a different colour scheme. Once again, this is completely grey when you get this out of the packaging. I have actually customised this, so if I was comparing both of these, I would definitely say that once again, I think that the DNA Design one is just in all a lot better. And something else worth showing off, here we have Sentinel Prime with one of the shields. As stated, we do actually get one pair, and I think that Sentinel here looks fantastic with this shield. I really do think that this creates his look, and quite honestly, I don't really have much of a desire to actually pick up the DNA Design set in which Sentinel has some accessories. I'm only merely going to be picking that up for the blackout accessories, but if I was going to miss that, this set here would definitely more than do. You can see that I think it looks awesome, and once again is really to scale with these figures. So if you're looking for a bonus accessory for a Sentinel Prime, you definitely have it here with this particular DK15 set. And so now showing you how you can actually add this additional component to our trailer. One thing worth noting is that once again, I have actually completely sprayed this, so the colour won't quite match up with what we actually get here with the kit. However, if you haven't sprayed yours, it will definitely match up really nicely. So just to show you, you can see that we do have a screw here as well as here, and you're going to want to get a screwdriver that is long enough to actually fit into this. I recommend that if you are under the age of 16 as per the instruction state, I would definitely recommend seeking an adult's permission or at least supervision, but you're just going to want to get the screwdriver in there and begin to turn this screw. And then just slide out this post here. There is minimal clearance, so I would definitely recommend that you take your time whilst doing it, but just completely remove that section, and then we can now bring in this piece, and you're just going to want to split it, push this piece here through, and then of course repeat the same process here on the opposite side, just clipping those there together. It's really nice to note that DNA Design have actually included their own set of screws with this release, so you don't have to utilise the screws that we did get on the original version. Now that I have painted this silver, the colour looks completely off. So after this review, I'll be sure to actually spray this up. Now this is where things can get slightly finicky, as of course this section here isn't attached, so I recommend taking one of the screws that are actually included within the set and just aligning it up there with the screw hole, and then just proceed. And there we have the completed brand new component, and in my opinion, looking a lot better. You can see that all of the wheels here do roll. This is mainly, of course, for once we actually get this transformed into the trailer. For the most part, this looks exactly the same, but it's a really nice added touch, and it's something that they didn't have to include in this set. And now turning to actually armoring up the armory for Optimus, it's incredibly simple to do. So I'll do a very quick time lapse, and then we can begin to take a look at how the finished product looks. And so there, with all of the accessories and of course here the jetpack fully installed, I think that this here looks absolutely fantastic and would highly recommend to any of you who actually own the original Studio Series Jetwing Prime to actually customise the annular ring trailer. I think that with the silver paint applications it greatly enhances its overall look, and with the entire array of accessories that we now do get with this set, I think that this looks incredible. I love all of the array of accessories that we do get with this set. It greatly amplifies the overall look and actually makes this look like an armory for Optimus Prime as opposed to what we got previously. I love how the Jetwing here sits and how it actually folds up with the shields here on the sides. Just such an awesome piece, giving you a very quick 360-degree spin before we take a look at it when it is fully transformed. I think that this is really awesome, and the DNA Design have done a fantastic job in upgrading this set. And so now turning here to storage and transformation, I shan't be showing the transformation of the actual trailer as it is exactly the same as how you would transform it normally. However, I will actually show you how you can compress all of this. So to begin with, you're just going to want to, of course, unlock this section. We can then come around here to the top and just extend all this out, collapse this piece in, lift this whole entire assembly up, and then rotate our attention round here to the back, lift all of this up here, and then of course cording all of this in and sliding these panels out, and then repeating the same process. So just extend all of this, wrap this section around. And you can see here that similarly to on the original release, that we do have the two slots here and here that the tabs on the back of these will actually tab into. So just align that up, snap that nice and securely into place, and that is how you transform the DNA Jetwing pack-up. A very simplistic transformation and is almost identical to how it was on the original release. Taking our transformed trailer and bringing in these knuckle dusters, you can see here that as stated previously, we do have these slots on either side that they're actually just going to peg into these tabs, and this can be rather finicky to do due to their minute size. However, if you just align it up, it should just slide in there. So that is one side complete, and then of course repeat the same process here for the opposite side. So just align the tab and the slot up appropriately, ensuring that both of them are tabbed in there. We can then bring in the swords, and these actually hold in the exact same way as they did on the original version. So just snap those in on either side. Really good use of some of the tabs on this trailer, I have found. Very effective and really nice engineering here for some of the DNA Design weapons. Turning to some of the larger accessories, we're going to want to take the shields, and you can see two ports here and here. These are just going to tab in there, so you really do fill this out, which I think is fantastic. Definitely utilizes its potential. And then just bring in this one here and also snap that into place, grabbing one of the other accessories. Here we have the entire Jetwing component, and this does just peg in there in the exact same way as it did on the original release. So I'll do a very quick time lapse of actually getting this all tabbed in, and then we'll proceed to some of the other weapons. Once the trailer is fully transformed, we can flip to the underside, and you're just going to want to untab these sections here just to loosen them up, as this entire piece is going to slide under here and then under here. And then what I recommend doing is just tabbing these sections here back into place. It can be rather finicky to do, as quite honestly we don't have all that much clearance, but once that's done, you can see that we have a hinge joint, a port and a peg, and you're just going to want to snap that in there nice and securely. And these act as support structures for you to just prop the trailer up on its own. You can see that it does go to a slight angle, as that is of course for when you actually do roll this around, so that these pieces here don't bump when they're actually hooked onto Prime. We're then going to flip to the underside and of course just take these accessories here, and you're then just going to want to align this section up and tab that into place, and then bring in this side also, and then once again just hinge this here to the side, and there you've got the blasters fully stored in there. And in my opinion, it actually really does help to fill this entire section out and doesn't look too bad whatsoever. So let's bring in Optimus Prime and finish off the review. And so finally, here with Optimus fully transformed, something which you can do, which I think is a really nice touch, is actually bring out the knuckle dusters here and actually stick them into the front grille of Optimus Prime. And to me, this creates a very similar appearance to that of the Dark of the Moon Megatron, which I just think is so awesome. It's almost as if though Optimus Prime has met up with the team at Mad Max, and you can see that it's very Mad Max-esque, and I just think that looks really awesome. So in all, definitely a really nice set, and I like how it can integrate into both vehicle mode and of course into robot mode. And so some final thoughts here for the DNA Design DK15 upgrade set. I actually really do like it. I think that it's for sure one of DNA Design's better upgrade kits and definitely super enhances the original Studio Series Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. For me, one of my major problems with that original figure was that I found the weapons to be incredibly lackluster, and this upgrade kit here definitely rectifies that. I think that the brand new shields are a great addition, more accurately scaled with Optimus Prime and are definitely significantly more detailed, and as showcased within this review, suit Sentinel Prime really nicely. We also do get the axes, which I think looks super cool, as well as the new repainted swords. I do actually love the new blasters as well. I think that they look awesome when implemented into Optimus Prime's hand, and as for the jetpack, it's significantly better than what we got with the standard figure. I think that the detailing, as well as the various hinge joints, and of course the lack of hollow spaces, really does make this set here complete. And in my opinion, if you are a fan of the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime and have the original Studio Series version, then this here is a must-have. It greatly amplifies the look of the figure. If I had any minor complaints, it would be that for the trailer, when you actually try to get all of the accessories implemented into it, it can be rather fiddly and for sure finicky. However, after a while, everything does begin to tab in seamlessly. And another minor nitpick that I do have is that I really wish that they would have included Optimus Prime's shotgun in this set, as this is specifically designed to armor up Optimus from Dark of the Moon. It would have been amazing if they could have given us that accessory as an almost bonus gift, but nonetheless, I'm pretty sure that we will probably see it later down the line. As always, if you are in the market for adding this set to your collection, it is available and in stock right now over at Showzy Store, so for that, of course, I will leave a link down in the description box below. I really do hope that you enjoyed my review. If you did, please do let me know down in the comment section below, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.